Um, Hello. So recently I have been looking into my column drawings. So I've just output these drawings and I have switched from having the columns vertical on the page to having them horizontal. So now I just want to have a look at having them vertical on the page, but maybe switching the page the other way. So I figured I'd record it while I was attempting to do it at least. So let's see. Uh, Save changes. Yes. All right. So basically, before I would have had that same sheet with the columns going vertical, and then added a new drawing style, which is in here. If we go to assemblies, we can see we have a column and a column horizontal. So see, these are vertical, and see, these are horizontal. So basically, I will just use this one, but put it on a different sheet, right? So we want a vertical sheet. So what we want to do is, if we go into, if you go into your drawing process, so the process I generally use is selected assemblies and one of these ones here, and we can go in here and we can see it's going on an NCD, assembly NCD. Alright, so let's go in here and open our prototypes, and let's go to assembly NCC and open. Alright, so this is my assembly drawing. This is a structured list, ADM, and this is your bolt list. And then I just got some stuff down here with some tokens. So block editor. See your tokens in here and save. Alright, and this here then is your revision table. Alright, so what we're going to do is go into the settings here. So if you come down here, right click and page setup manager, modify. We can see right now it's printing on a 17 by 22, which is a C sheet. See it here? I don't know why it's ANSI expand C. Uh, so you can either change it down here or change it here. So let's cancel out that first and close that. First of all, we want to save this as a different type because we don't want to. So prototype assembly NCC ADM, and I'll have it as portrait, so a P after it. I'll actually spell portrait, Portrait. Save that. Now, so if I go plot, it'll give me an idea what this looks like, right? Okay. And save it there just in the documents. So we can see that fits nicely on the page, nice border and everything. So now if I go into the settings in here, modify, let's see if we switch this to a 22 by 17, okay, close, and then plot. And I didn't close that last one, so I just want to overwrite it. I don't want to keep doing it. So it's cut out the expanded. So that isn't actually the way I was going to do it anyway. So let me go back. Page setup manager. Modify. So I'll go back to expand. That was the one actually I wanted. Uh, Same thing. All right. So we want to change the portrait thing because it's automatically changing. That we can see the size of the sheet there, right? Sometimes it doesn't always show it, but you can see it right there. So let's change this. So you can see that fits better, right? So now let's modify it again. And if we do portrait, okay, you can see there now it is switched. And that's what we want, right? So now I'm going to pull this over, pull this up. So the problem now is when you go into the block, you won't be able to see. So block editor. See, you can't see where it is. All right, so close the block and slightly outside that line there. So probably just going to grab everything and try and move it just slightly first. Because you want to make sure you plot that line on the outside. So just put it there somewhere, it's fine. So what you can do now is I'll just draw a circle here and then move that up. I like to move it up straight and keep it again inside the line. And that's your circle. And then I want to copy that over. And again, go straight over and keep it inside the line. Okay, and that's probably good. Now, we should be able to grab both of these, clipboard, copy with base point, copy it off something that's going to be inside that block, so off that corner. And then go to block editor, and then Control V to plot them out. That was the outside line. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line here over. So I want to go in the X direction over to the center of that. And then I'm going to move this over. Now I could just redo that center point, the center of that, but this is not a rectangle, as you can see. I should have made this a rectangle originally. Now I would have done this a while back, so now, like I say, you could just delete this, but I'll just do it this way. And now I want to go again in the X direction to here. And then this one, I'm just going to move from here to here. And that's your distance. And now, again, I'll do the same thing. Now, I'm sure you could do it faster, but I'd like to do it accurately. So that is not where I want that. I want this to be here. And then I want to move this down. And then this is going to be in the Y direction. And then this is going to be in the Y direction. And that's it. Right, so now you've got your setup there. Alright, so now your other stuff is off, right? So the best thing to do is you can just delete this revision chart for now. This is a block, so I did not want to open that. I just want to move it. So move this block over to here. There's not really enough room for a revision right there, so I can block editor. Let's go in here. I'll probably fix this a little better later, but for now, what I usually do is I'll move this down here to this corner. I'll move this over here to somewhere that looks reasonable, and then I'll move this from this point to the midpoint between this point and this corner. Alright, so it's kind of centered. Close that. These lists up here, you just want to recreate them, so I'm going to delete those circles. I don't need those anymore. This one is my bolt list. If you want to pin it down, you gotta, I guess it'll let me do this. Yeah, you want to just delete them. So go to Objects, Labels, Dimensions, Insert Drawing List, like that size, and I want to pin it here, and down here, delete during prototype change. You want to do that also. Then go to your template, structured lists, ADM. These are other ones I was playing around with previously. Okay, this one could maybe be a little bigger. Okay, and then do another one, insert drawing list, and pin it up here and here, template, and bolt list. Alright, so there's your two lists back in. Here's your page, and that outside line should be a plot line. So we're going to come in here and do a revision table, and actually I should go the other way, right? So revision table here to here. There's your revision table. Now this is the problem, right? So you can see this is where I struggle with the revision tables, because it needs to be scaled out this way to get to the same thing. For now, I'll just complete it with a line down here to the bottom. That doesn't look great, but when you fill in some of the text, it's going to stretch up this way probably anyway. So you can edit this yourself, maybe cram this over a little more. This side could be make it a little smaller, right? So I won't do that for now. So I'm going to save that, and that looks pretty good. Alright, so go back down here to Page Setup Manager and modify. So what to plot is the layout, the extents, the display, or window. So the layout should be the layout. You don't want it to be extents, or if you have stuff outside of here, it's going to start printing it. So let's just see. So plot, okay. And it's plot that correctly. So I guess now the next thing is to just put a drawing on a sheet. So we'll go back. Let's close this. All right. So I have already done these columns, but what I'm going to do is let's just redo these columns, right? So let's come in here and let's go to our details, and let's go to our columns down here and delete. Okay, okay. So I've deleted those columns. Now, if I'm going to use this process of selected assemblies, I'm going to use this one here. Yeah, you know what? I'll use this one here. ADM assemblies each NCC. And let me just check in my sentence to make sure that I don't have duplicate drawings, because I don't want to create duplicate drawings. So let's just check that. Drawings general. And allow duplicate workshop drawings, no. Alright, that's good. Close that. So now what we want to do is we want to direct our columns to that drawing. So let's go to output. So, sorry, I'm thinking about something. No, that's the drawing styles, sorry. Drawing process. Okay, so in this drawing process, I would have had the columns going vertically on a horizontal sheet or on a landscape sheet. And in this one, we will see that we have the regular sheet, and if we come down here we can see columns horizontal, so the columns are coming in horizontal in that one. This one, I believe I had left this at vertical, so I probably won't have to change this. No, I did change this columns horizontal because it is assemblies ADM, sorry, yeah, so they're both using the same step here. As you can see, detail style map 02 assemblies ADM. So when I changed one, the other one changed. So what I'm going to do is I'll just change this. I don't need to create a new one because I'll remember. Eventually you start remembering. So I'm going to go back to columns regular, so that would be vertical, apply, okay, and then I need to come in here and I need to change this to portrait, right? This video might seem a little long, but I think this would be very useful for some people. Alright, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the assemblies, and then I don't need to do this, but I do this anyway. And then I'm going to come in here and do ADM assemblies each and CC. Hopefully it should just create the column drawings and it should put them on that new prototype and vertical. So let's see. So let's see, I can't read it. I think that's a column. Yeah, so it's conversion, create welds. So there's only 10 of them, I think. So let's see. Let's see what's created down here. And I've just noticed, sorry, that I've been working, I never resized my advanced steel. Sorry for the smaller screen, apologies for that, in case you missed some of the work, but I think most of it was on this side anyway. Plain view, column, column, column. Alright, so it seems to be all the columns. So let's go to output and let's see if our columns are in here. And there's our columns, and let's click on it and preview it. And the column is on the sheet, but I just need to address my clipping, right? It is on the right sheet, it is vertical. And I do kind of like it, so what I have to do is go back and address the clipping. So we'll just change this clipping to like 4 or 5 maybe. And then put it on the sheet. And I kind of like that myself, you know. I think I like to have the column vertical on the sheet, but I guess if I just switch the sheet to this, I like it. Now, as you can see, I have issues here. So you can see that my prototype is incorrect. So I never updated my prototype. So they're all going to come in off the edge. So let's see. Show assembly detail. See, so you need to go back in and do that at sync inside here. So let me close these out again, and then I'll just change the prototype. So just make sure you do that at sync. So if you go back into that prototype, into that, this one here, right? See, it's hard to tell sometimes here, but I have moved these over. Now, the best thing for me to do would be to move these back, to be honest with you. So what I could do is, let's see where this makes sense. Yeah, I guess it's just going to be, no, I'll just leave it for now. So basically you want to do at sync, and these two here should jump over. Alright, and now close that. And then if I go back in here, I should be able to change these back to that prototype, even though it's the same one. So let's see if it'll update it. Change prototype. And portrait. So it's changing them. And we'll open a different one and we'll see if it has the updated prototype. These are things you kind of overlook, and they're a bit of a pain then when you output drawings. But let's see. So let's just pick one of them. And you can see they're all in line there. It's just taking a second to open for some reason. That's unusual. That's a little strange now. I don't know why that is. It seems to have frozen on me. So just do Control Alt Delete, and I'll go in here and check in the task manager, and we'll see the OBS is running there. So let's see, very low, low, very low. So it hasn't actually crashed on me yet. It's just trying to work it out down here. Alright, so well, I'll just continue from here, but that's basically it. So now you can have kind of showed you where to do the orientation of the columns and where to create a new prototype. Doesn't take long. Just make sure you do it right so you don't have to change it like I just did, and now it's crashing. System exemption without special treatment has occurred, so I'm probably going to have to shut this down. I'll leave it go for a minute, but I hope that video helps. Alright, thank you. Bye.